Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky announced that his country is concluding defense pacts with Gulf nations, including Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia, with the aim of securing vital financial support. According to NHK, Ukraine will provide expertise in countering Iranian drone attacks, a skill developed during its 4-year conflict with Russia. Zelensky stated that Ukraine has already signed a 10-year defense agreement with Qatar and another with Saudi Arabia, with a similar accord expected soon with the UAE. These pacts involve sending Ukrainian experts in missile interception to Gulf countries that have suffered substantial damage from Iranian drones. In return, Zelensky hopes these nations will provide monetary assistance, stating, "We need funds to invest in Ukraine so that we can produce the tools and weapons we lack." This initiative comes amid growing concerns that Ukraine could face a severe funding shortfall in the first half of this year. An approximately €90 billion loan from the European Union, crucial for Kyiv, is currently blocked by Hungary, which has adopted a pro-Russian stance. Zelensky's recent tour of the Middle East is believed to have been aimed at breaking this financial impasse. According to Shin-Yuanet, Pakistani Foreign Minister Mohammad Ishaq Dar announced on Sunday that both the United States and Iran have expressed their confidence in Pakistan's ability to facilitate talks between the two nations. This statement came after a 4-party foreign ministers' meeting held in Islamabad, which focused on addressing Middle East tensions. Dar's remarks highlight a potential diplomatic pathway for easing strained relations in the Middle East, with Pakistan positioned as a key facilitator. The expression of confidence from both Washington and Tehran underscores Pakistan's evolving role as a trusted mediator in complex regional dynamics. Shin-Yuanet reports that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has instructed the military to expand what Israel refers to as a security buffer zone in southern Lebanon. This directive came on Sunday, March 29th, as Israeli forces intensified their ground offensive in the region. Netanyahu stated from a northern command base that Israel is determined to change the situation in the north fundamentally. These buffer zones, which Israel claims inside Lebanese territory, are not recognized internationally or by Lebanon. Since hostilities with Hezbollah resumed in early March amidst a war with Iran, Israeli ground forces have entered southern Lebanon and are advancing toward the Litani River. Netanyahu also mentioned broader plans to establish 3 buffer zones around Israel, in Syria, Gaza, and Lebanon, none of which hold international recognition. He asserted, "I said we will change the face of the Middle East, and we did. We initiate, we attack." The article concludes by noting that the deadly Middle East conflict ignited by a coordinated U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran on February 28th has now reached its 30th day. Al Jazeera reports that the Houthis in Yemen have launched their initial attacks against Israel, marking the opening of a new front in the month-long regional conflict. Al Jazeera's Virginia Petramarchi explains that this development could significantly escalate risks for international oil shipping routes through the Red Sea. Furthermore, the escalation poses increased dangers to civilians within Yemen itself. The article provides context on why the Houthis' actions are broadening the scope of the existing regional tensions and highlights the potential humanitarian and economic consequences of these new attacks. According to Ginji Ribba, 66 World Trade Organization (WTO) member states, including the European Union, mainland China, and Canada, agreed on March 28th to advance a new e-commerce agreement. These nations will individually implement the world's first set of benchmark rules for digital trade within their domestic legal frameworks on a provisional basis. The agreement was reached during the 14th WTO Ministerial Conference, MC14, in Cameroon, covering approximately 70% of global trade. WTO Director General Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala expressed satisfaction, while Japan's Vice Minister of Economy, Trade and Industry, Kenji Yamada, called it a historic step. However, the fact that not all WTO members reached a consensus, with countries like India opposing its inclusion into the WTO framework, highlights the deepening divisions and weakening of the organization. The Financial Times noted that this coalition of the willing decision underscores the WTO's inability to foster true multilateral or plurilateral agreements in the foreseeable future, suggesting that nations and regional blocs may need to negotiate large agreements independently. The report also mentions an ongoing deadlock between the U.S. and India overextending the e-commerce moratorium on customs duties. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.